Hey, what's up you guys, and welcome back to MVR, and a big warm welcome to all new members of the VR community. I hope you all had an amazing Christmas weekend and are looking forward to the new year just as much as I am. Before we get there though, we've still got time to take one last look at some amazing VR news before the year ends. So without further ado, let's jump in. A new Quest 2 charging dock recently appeared on the Oculus website. The dock, made by the Chinese electronics giant Anker, offers a neat way to charge both your controllers and your headset for a sloppy $87. The dock comes with replacement rechargeable batteries for your Quest 2 controllers and connects to the peripherals using magnetic USB-C connectors. Anker says the kit charges all your devices in just 2.5 hours. From the looks of it, only the headset's visor itself sits on the dock, which hopefully means that the dock will be compatible with the Quest 2 Elite strap. Keep in mind though that the Elite battery strap needs to be charged from the back, so that version wouldn't be compatible with the Anker Oculus Quest 2 charging dock without swapping out the cable each and every time you want to charge it, somewhat mitigating the appeal. When the HMD does connect, a set of lights on the front of the device appear to indicate if the device is charging. Quest 2's battery life lasts around 2.5 hours, so if you want to be able to hop in and play some VR games, it's a pretty important thing to keep your device charged up. The Oculus site lists a January 22nd ship date for the device, which is only a month away, so might still serve as a good belated Christmas present. After being denied even a nomination at this year's Game Awards, GameSpot has gone ahead and provided a full 180 opinion on the matter by not only nominating but also selecting HalfLife Alyx as Game of the Year. The staff acknowledged that it was hard to choose a VR title specifically, as VR is still a relatively niche market because of the cost of entry compared to regular gaming. They went on to say, often in VR games, you're cognizant of the fact you're in VR for one reason or another, whether it be the natural extension of the game's concepts or the quirks of interaction that remind you of technical limitations. HalfLife Alyx is such an immersive, enthralling, and smartly designed game that you forget you're in VR altogether and simply experience it for what it is. Valve brought together different mechanics that we've seen in VR games thus far: gun handling, reloading, reactive physics, object interaction, environmental puzzles, and horror, and executes them in top-notch form. The result is a cohesive whole, never over-relying on one concept or gimmick, and instead making them complement each other from start to finish. I'm personally very happy to see that HalfLife Alyx is finally getting the attention it deserves in the more mainstream media, and after hearing the reasoning behind the decision, I could only nod in agreement, as it echoed my own sentiments about the game quite accurately. But then again, it could also be my love for the Half-Life franchise as a whole that made me see it through a rose-tinted VR lens. If you're a fan of flight simulators, then get your flight sticks ready, because Microsoft has released its long-awaited VR support for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Just in time for Christmas, Microsoft Flight Simulator received an update that will allow Steam VR headsets to play the game in its entirety. The studio behind the game has worked closely with Microsoft's mixed reality team, headed by Alex Kipman, to support all open XR-compatible PC headsets, which include devices such as the Valve Index, Oculus Rift S, Windows mixed reality headsets like HP Reverb G2, and Oculus Quest with Link. The game is set to offer support for all of the same controllers as the flat-screen version, which includes HOTAS, gamepads, and keyboard and mouse. The in-cockpit instrumentation can be interacted with via 3D mouse cursor. There's no mention of native motion controller support, however, but it may be something to hope for in the future. The studio mentions that as virtual reality continues to evolve, Microsoft Flight Simulator will continue to evolve too. Speaking of evolution, this next piece of hardware is sure to give us a glimpse of the future. Ever since the onset of virtual reality, the aim has been to transport players into another world, another reality. With the rapid progression of the current HMDs, the visual aspect has already been covered and is only getting better with each passing day. Enter the Holotron. Pretty much the closest thing we have to the ultra high-tech VR arm we got to see in Ready Player One. The Holotron places your legs into a beefy frame covered with motors and sensors, which the creator says operate in low latency to track your leg movements while delivering resistance and force motion where appropriate. If a big ball rolls into your leg, it'll knock your leg backwards. The creator has been testing the device at 1/20th of normal Earth gravity, making walking around and jumping a more interesting experience. Currently, there are motors only at the hip and knee joints, but future plans would extend this to 5 motors on each leg, with more on your arms, hands, and back. Eventually, the creator hopes to replace the huge cheap wooden frame with a floor-mounted multi-axis gimbal arrangement that would tidy up the clunky electronics of the prototype and add the ability to flip and spin users around in all directions, which could be fun or horrible depending on the game experience. The developer has built and coded this prototype with just $67,000 of funding, to the point where he and his collaborators have got it up and running with a few applications, including one absolutely terrifying looking simulation where he rides a skateboard down a mountain. Now, it's unlikely that we'll be seeing devices like this coming to our living rooms anytime soon, but looking at the progress that has already been made and the relatively low costs associated with it makes me hopeful that this can be used for industry applications relatively soon. And who knows, future iterations of the device could bring the cost down considerably, and maybe it will get to arcades in the next 5 to 10 years. Now, if you've been wondering what to play recently, or you've just gotten your VR headset and don't know where to start, then Steam's got you covered. The Steam Winter Sale will last all the way through January 5th and includes a whole section dedicated to amazing VR games like No Man's Sky, Boneworks, and Walking Dead's Saints and Sinners, as well as a bunch of others. My personal favorite would have to be HalfLife Alyx, but if you've already completed that and are willing to spend a bit of time configuring mods, then Skyrim VR can give you hours of replay value that you still can't quite find anywhere else. You can find the link to the VR sales page in the description down below. If you participated in the free giveaway for the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, then be sure to check out the Discord channel to claim your prize. If the prize is left unclaimed, I will raffle it again to pick a different winner. And with that, we've come to the end of the last update video of 2020. It's truly been an amazing ride, and I want to thank all of you for sharing it with me. I hope you all have an amazing end of year celebration, and I will see you guys next year.